Today I'm capturing all the essence of authentic Mexican food and distilling it into something that fits the struggle budget. Hey, tacos and burritos, move over.
Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes for under $2 a plate.
Let's talk about Mexican food. Delicious, deep, earthy flavors, stewed meats, tortillas. All of these things are wonderful. And today, I'm taking my favorite things and reforming them into struggle Mexican food. You know what I love? Carbonized flavor of charred meat. And that is what carne asada is all about. You hit it with high heat for a short amount of time, and all of the spices on there just sizzle up, including the fat. I think a perfect cut for carne asada is skirt steak, because it's got a lot of fat so it stays juicy no matter how you like your meat cooked. As always, this is an affordable cut, once considered unwanted, now highly sought after. Let's get a plethora of flavors on here. Let's go garlic powder, salt, pepper, a little bit of cumin, chili powder for a zing, and paprika for the smokiness that we're looking for. Finally, some sugar to aid in the caramelization process. Other side. And some red pepper flakes, because I like fire. If carne asada is all about getting caramelized, deep, rich, burnt flavors, and we don't have a grill, how do we go about doing that? The broiler is the answer. Slam that thing at full heat, man, and then use your ojos. Let's talk about corn. We've made it before, but one of my favorite ways to eat it is blistered with a spicy and sweet mayo sauce. Call it street corn if you will. Let's make it. Da, da, da. Sweet corn. All right, here's our corn. Let's husk it back, but not too far because we want to cook the corn in the husk. That's gonna let us steam it without having to use aluminum foil. You may be looking at this and saying to yourself, how do I get rid of all these little hairs? The answer is, of course, with a toothbrush. So this is my dedicated food toothbrush, you know? Butter. Get it all over there. Little bit of salt. Boom, 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 boom. And now close it back up. We will cook this corn in the husk. It will act sort of like an all-natural steam oven. Boom! The corn is gonna go into a 425-degree oven for 25 minutes. The corn is in the oven, the carne asada is resting. Now it is time to make that extra special sauce that goes on the corn. Bowl, packet drawer, 4 mayos. You get a little bit of struggle lime zest. Long way. Lime in half. Get some lime juice in there. Some cilantro. Fresh herbs are where it's at. Some salt, some pepper. So you want to look for something that is viscous but will drip. If you find that it is too tight, add a little bit of water, and if it's too loose, add a little more mayo. The corn is out. Look at how beautiful this is. You can pull this back. Beautifully cooked, soft to the touch. Let's finish up this corn. So we come in with some crema, just drizzle that on top. A little bit of cotija cheese. Cotija is a crumbly, mild, feta-like cheese. We'll top it off finally with a little bit of chili. Check out our rested skirt steak. Let's cut it in half. This one's for a friend. Can you see the lines going this way? I want to cut perpendicularly against them. That's just going to give us something a little extra texture-wise. Trying to mimic that amazing street food flavor that I crave at night. Let's lay out that steak. Nice. There it is. So here we have carne asada and street corn, inspired by the wonderful street foods of Mexico. These flavors are in your face. They want to be noticed. Built-in handle. So you get these rich flavors from the chili, and then the lime is like, hey, don't forget about me. Really good combo. Coming in, I'm taking a piece of charred jalapeno because I love you. Soft, spicy, juicy. It's perfectly seasoned. At $1.98, I don't know what else is gonna give you this much zing. Maybe the next 2 dishes. I hope you saved some taste buds. So, last Tuesday, I had a taco party. And you know what? I've got some tortillas left. This next dish is different across all regions of Mexico. It's called Chilaquiles. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And it is a wonderful way to use stale tortilla pieces. They're simmered in a delicious tomato sauce. It's not unlike what Europeans do with stale bread. So the base of this is a wonderful tomato sauce. If you've got a pre-made tomato sauce, you can totally use that. But why when you have a can of tomatoes and something as simple as garlic? It always tastes better, and it's certainly more affordable and fresher.
A little bit of extra virgin olive oil for our crybaby soup because the onions are making me cry.
Onions in, jalapeno in. So the base of our chilaquiles is onion and jalapeno. You can build whatever sofrito you see fit, but it is important that you either grate or finely chop all of the ingredients. That way they all dissolve into the soupy tomato broth. A little bit of cumin, some chili powder, and some pepper. And now what I'm gonna do is try and make a little bit of a garlic paste. Slam it with some salt. You run through it and you mash down with it on your knife, pull it, run through it. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? Let's get that in. Building flavor right here. Second I drop this tomato in, the oil temperature drops down to the boiling point of water. Just give this a little stir. Here comes water. A little bit of cilantro. Stems are good. Stir that in, top on, gentle simmer, 15 minutes. These tortillas are sort of at the end of their life because Taco Tuesday, after all, was on Tuesday. And that's what Chilaquiles is all about, giving life to something that is dying. Isn't that in a way our struggle mantra? I think so. If you've got a fryer and you want to make fried tortilla chips, go for it. But I think it is more cost effective to bake these with oil in the oven. And honestly, I don't think you're gonna miss the fried stuff. These taste great. Spread these out so that they're not on top of each other. This way, each piece gets exposed to the air in the oven, and each piece gets exposed to the oil that I will subject it to in moments. All right, olive oil. This is incredibly satisfying. Salt. 425 degrees for 9 to 12 minutes, making sure that you turn them at least once or twice so that they can all get crispy. Check out these tortillas. You see that? Oh, now, I'm gonna grate up some cheddar cheese. This is most certainly not traditional, but I've got it in the fridge and I think this is a great place to use it up. Let's check on our sauce. Beautiful. What we wanna do is layer the tortillas and the cheese and the beans. So the best way to do that is to remove some sauce so that we have room to work. There are deep, dark, roasted aromas here, and I love it. Tortillas. Some black beans. Do a nice layer of that. Gotta get a layer of cheese in the middle. It's gonna melt. Here comes the sauce. More tortillas. Oh, this looks really great. A little more sauce on top. Some more cheddar cheese. This needs just a kiss in the oven so the cheese can melt and the tortillas can absorb. You know what's really great on top of chilaquiles? A fried egg. Eggs add extra protein. Obviously, the yolk is one of the most pornographic things in the entire food world. And if you've got the eggs, this is a perfect time to use them. After all, this dish is about using things that are on their last leg. So why not add more flavor if you've got it? Do-do-do-do-do. Let's hit this with some red onions, some cilantro leaves, and finally, some cotija cheese. This looks like the world's greatest breakfast. This also looks like it could be the world's greatest lunch. Oh, this might be one of the best values we've ever made. This is $1.93, and the quantity will absolutely send you straight to the siesta. Oh, you can hear the crunch. Cheesy. That's delicious. This Mexican-inspired dish has me feeling like I'm eating comfort food, but not the heavy kind that puts me to sleep. This tastes fresh and bright, and it's all thanks to that tomato sauce, which was really quick to make. You can do it. Man, does it make a difference. What else can Mexico inspire us to do? We're gonna make chicken thighs in mole sauce. It's probably gonna be the most flavorful thing ever, because mole is probably the most flavorful thing ever. Often made with 20 or more ingredients, nuts and peppers and chocolates and all kind of equipment that we can't afford. How are we gonna do it? We're gonna make a struggle mole with ingredients that we do have readily available in our budget.
We'll salt the chicken thighs.
I'd argue it's the most flavorful part of the whole chicken.
Just a wee bit of Earl. All right, seasoned side away from you.
Chicken thighs have wonderful texture, incredible flavor, and they're very affordable.
Season the other side. I mean, you can see the texture. In the meantime, let's grate an onion.
Because I don't have a blender, I'm grating the onion, making sure that that onion completely melts into the struggle mole sauce.
Protection.
Always use protection, kids. Onion crying is a real syndrome. Ah, it's going right through the glasses.
Nice color, look at that.
Remember, it's not fully cooked through.
We're just trying to get some seared flavors. And here in the base of our chicken schmaltz, we will add just a little bit of cumin. We will add some cinnamon. This gives us an earthy and warm flavor, which is fundamental in a mole. Here I have chili powder. Absolutely not traditional, but you've got to remember, there are all kinds of fresh chilies that are being dried and ground down in a real mole sauce. This is the hack to get those flavors in an affordable package. Garlic powder, get all those spices into the fat.
And you can smell them open up.
And the second you do, throw the onions in. Here comes a little bit of tomato paste.
Tomato paste is concentrated tomato. You get all the sweetness and all the acidity of one of my favorite botanical fruits.
Now we're gonna come in with a little bit of almond butter.
This is how the struggle mole gets around the fact that there are lots of nuts. Pre-ground, delicious flavors, large quantity.
Nuts and seeds in a traditional mole act as a thickening agent, and that's exactly what the almond butter is doing here. Stock comes in. Boom. Chocolate. It's gonna give us deep, dark flavors and the dark color that we know in mole. And melt it. That is looking pretty awesome. And now the chicken gets braised in this mole hack sauce. And of course, all this fine juice left from resting. Bring this down to a gentle simmer, cover this up, and the chicken and you are both set up for success. The chicken is finally gonna cook all the way through, being massaged and coddled by the wonderful flavors of our struggle mole.
Woo!
Baby! Freshness into the chicken thigh mole sauce. You gotta get some brightness, because this is all about earth and smoke. Some sesame seeds. They add a little bit of nutrition. I've got them, and it looks really great on camera. All right, I happen to have some white rice that I made. This is always a great thing to have with anything soupy, because the rice absorbs all that extra liquid. Boom, boom, boom. Mole on top. Slamming it with flavor.
The struggle mole may not be traditional, but it has a genuine heart. And for $2, you will not get more flavor.
Let's dig in. Ooh, yes. Love the chicken thighs. Really nice texture as I'm cutting. I can feel it. Chocolate, peppers, sweetness from tomato.
Holy moly. We just made 3 Mexican-inspired dishes that weren't traditional Mexican at all, but they also weren't traditional Americanized Mexican. There were no burritos. There were no tacos. And yet we still had delicious food that was loaded with flavors. I think we did a really good job of capturing the essence in our budget and with ingredients that are available on our supermarket shelves. Struggle on, amigos.